As servants of the Most High, we must eagerly plant the seed. Understand we do not possess the power to make the seed grow, only the Father. The key being missed is the art of playing your position. Trust Yah to do what He said He will do. He will get the increase. He gets the credit. The Most High showed me the end result before I knew the path, and when I asked, He just said, follow me.
You see, cause push is what the doctor told mommy when she was birthing me. We push it, make it through tribulations and life adversities. A pusher is a term for a person selling narcotics. A pushover is what church is now cause of lack of knowledge. Information must be factual, literal, therefore actual. Be leery of the ones taking lies and making them practical. We have to pull the skirt up on shepherds who out in line. If we don't, then there's a chance that we may all end up in frying. Gotta push to the limit, let's get it. If you a soldier, gotta love for the truth, and my passion just makes me bolder. Got a crew rolling with me, we sticky, yeah, I was shot again. We holding us together through Him, there's nothing that we can't do. It's time, ask the question, who blessing me, where my help come from? Yeah, how I do it all through His word. Yeah, I was shy, so let's get it. If you with it, go grab it so you can have it. Time for playing games is up, tricks off for kids, you silly rabbit.
I pledge allegiance to the Most High, who is the Alpha and Omega. And through the blood of Yahweh Shai, His Son that died for me, I am reconciled to my Father in heaven. Under Yah, whose mercy is everlasting. One truth, if accepted, will bring salvation to all.
We gotta push to get truth from the people pushing us. Lie, speaking of lies, you know the devil. He always come in disguise, a fancy suit, a nice physique, some money and pretty eyes, but he's a fire-breathing dragon who's helping on telling lies and revelations. There's this beast and he giving this so a right. She's dressed in purple and in scarlet, yeah, that be that whole disguise. It's all it represent the church or authority, telling lies. That be she riding on his roam. You better open up your eyes to water. Bahashim, yeah, I was shy. I thank you for this blessing. Time to wake up from the sleep so we can teach that whole lesson. Less I feel traditional. The Most I rock with spiritual. His Ruach here to help download this truth just like it's digital. We miserable and shattered, been that way since we've been scattered. Now y'all waking up as people. Check this out, there's none equal. Most I knew what He was doing when He sent this strong delusion. Fall in love with seeking truth and He'll confirm this next conclusion. Strong
illusion. A physically powerful, morally vigorous, deeply rooted, false idea or theory, held persistently and abnormally, accepted as truth, especially by faith or authority rather than from personal knowledge, but is in fact a falsehood.
We gotta push to manage damage implanted by the satanic papal power. Yeah, that hoe giving gifts out just like she's Santa. Satan switch the N around and see just what I'm saying. And they gifts be wrapped in lies designed to spread their propagation. No more waiting, time to get up, get out. Wake up the nation, need a phrase from Yasharal or Azo Israel. Awaken, deacon sleeping, elder snoozing. The congregation be losing. Pastor serving wine from Babylon. Got everybody moving. Think you know it, cause you older and done been in for a minute. Lack of knowledge while we perishing. No need to be offended. See, the truth is not rhetorical. It's timely in the season when it's spitting proper format. There's no room left for deceiving or misleading, which result when ones insert their own opinion. Just like Adam when he tripped out and gave Hashatan dominion. We've been subject to the lie, but know this truth, it will prevail. I'm a love watching the devil and his whole crew burn in hell. Push.
Shalom. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk 101, The Devil Exposed. Your host for the evening, Orlando Boyd. Brad is probably on a beach somewhere in another country. His birthday was the 23rd, and I think he'll be back on Tuesday. So the Most High, get that brother traveling mercies, keep him in your prayers as he makes his way back from wherever he at. It's gonna be a short session today. You know, I did a little security gig last night and didn't get out till 3 o'clock this morning. So needless to say, I'm more tired than what I normally am when I come in here. But I'm gonna give you what the Most High gave me and I'm gonna get out the way like I normally do. Prayer requests. Cousin Sharon, mother passed away. I believe it was last week. Keep her in your prayers. There's a lot going on, but namely, you know, for traveling mercies, for Brad, our individual families. I mean, I know people in our study group are going through different things, personal things, household situations, maybe job or financial situations. Overall, just keep those who are seeking truth in prayer that the Most High will continue to do like he said, which is never leave us nor forsake us. I got a testimony. I'm going to wait until after opening prayer, but I'm not going to beat around the bush. Bow your head, Most High Yah. In here, you know how I feel, tired. But based on what you showed me this past week, I got to share that with the viewers. I'm asking that you send your Ruach, give me some strength, a little energy, that I can at least get an hour out. That be your will. Wherever Brad is, I ask that you keep him safe, maybe allow him to be a witness, bring back something that help us further understand what it is that's going on. Give him traveling mercies, bring him back. Be with Sharon. She deals with the loss of her mother, comfort her, yeah. Anyone else who may be mourning the loss of a loved one or even a friend, any loss in their life. Protect us, Yah. Forgive us for all our iniquities. Continue to open our eyes and our hearts and our minds to want to know what the truth is. Save us when you come back in Yahushua name. Amen. So, again, short and to the point. This past week was a little interesting for me. My mind's been kind of all over the place since this is Real Talk 101. Devil Exposed, and we're pretty transparent. You know, the enemy is never going to be able to shift my faith. You know, sometimes things feel just feel off, you know. I was feeling off like around Wednesday. I just got tired of putting myself in the same situations, around the same people, not really expecting nothing different, but just knowing, man, it just is what it is, you know, for certain people, certain situations. And it just, I just came over me. I just got tired of it, man. I went in the house, trying to figure out, you know, what the move was gonna be, what my next move was gonna be. You know, should I stop doing a lot of what I was doing? Bottom line, I knew I needed to refocus. That's what I knew I needed to do. Hadn't been reading, always talking to the Most High, but hadn't been reading, you know, and he showed me that that's what I was missing. You know what I'm saying? I was like spiritually malnourished, you know, feeling physically weak. Might eat food, but the actual physical weakness I was feeling came from me being spiritually malnourished. I wasn't reading, wasn't ingesting this, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't putting it in my system. It's like, you know, eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich 2 weeks ago and thinking you're gonna be all right because you ate that 2 weeks ago. And I ingested all of this, well, not all of this, but, you know, the whole 66 I've read several times, you know, pride of myself in knowing the Bible, you know, being able to quote scripture. But if I'm not constantly, you know, replenishing that understanding or that surplus of scripture, eventually it's not going to affect me like it was affecting me in the beginning. And that's what happened. So I was on the verge of a breakdown. And that's when the Most High generally redirects me. You know what I'm saying? And before I tell you how he redirected me, I'm going to just read a couple little scriptures, you know, a couple little scriptures, and then I'm going to show you what he showed me. So he told me that I need to open up to Baruch. He was going to take me to Baruch, right? I remember hearing Brad talk about Baruch. I know the other members of the study group have read it. I only read it when they read it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go into it for the purpose of studying. But to me, it reads a lot like, I want to say it's Jeremiah. Either Isaiah or Jeremiah, one of the two. And it's interesting, right? Because all throughout the scriptures, you see where Yasharal is referred to as a stiff-necked people. Stiff-necked people. Stiff-necked people. One Baruch, chapter 2, verse 30. And I'm just going to touch on a couple of verses. I'm not going to read the entire chapter. It said, "For I knew they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves." That's what's happening now. We're remembering who we are, who we were chosen to be. And the fact remains that we are a stiff-necked people. We're prideful and we're stubborn. When I looked up stiff-necked, that word stood out to me, stubborn, right? I'm gonna read the definition of stubborn. It said, he knew. He said, I knew, for I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people. There's a whole lot that could be unpacked in that, because Yahweh has already brought the children of Israel out of Egypt at this point. Nebuchadnezzar, I believe this is around the time Nebuchadnezzar, one of them captivities. But for the Most High to make the statement that he knew that they would not hear him. Now, it's me, hindsight being 2020. How could you expect somebody to hear you when you giving them laws, statutes, and commandments that they couldn't, that's not good for them to live by? They spend so much time in opposition, you giving them all the tools they need to build a wall between themselves and you because of their disobedience. Well, I guess that's how he knew they weren't going to hear him. All right, so stubborn. Definition of stubborn. Fixed in opinion. Inflexibly resolute in purpose, especially obstinately perverse. Inflexibly resolute in purpose, especially obstinately perverse, unreasonably determined as a stubborn child, unreasonably determined, fixed in opinion, fixed in an unreasonable, perverse opinion, persistently or obstinately pursued, practiced, or maintained as a stubborn attempt, hard to handle or treat, unyielding, intractable as a stubborn cord. The Yasharal was all those things. And I'm like, what made us, how do we get to that point? How do we get, well, I wonder where the first reference in scripture is to where Yasharal is referred to as stiff-necked, and what had been their description up to that point. To be fixed in opinion, inflexibly resolute in purpose. They make their mind up they're gonna do something or they're not gonna do something. Like when they got scared and didn't wanna go battle with whatever them peoples was, and then all of a sudden after Moses said what he said to them, they got brave. Yahweh told them don't go because I'm not with you. And they went up there and they got their behinds handed to them. So it's like you make your mind up in one direction, that you're gonna do this, that, or the other thing, in spite of whatever y'all gonna do or whatever he said. And when he tries to correct you, or when he gives you a stern warning, you fake turn around, you fake change your mind, but you really wanna do it so you can go ahead and do it anyway. That's how I've been functioning. Knowing better, but doing it anyway. Not presumptuously that, y'all got my back, he gonna take care of me. Even though it's been the case, my thinking about that's a little different. Once we start doing some live, like in-person sessions, y'all will get a little more information. But I know Yahweh got my back. And I know I fall in that category of stiff-necked, especially based on this description right here. you know. But he talked to me directly about my stiff-neckedness. I had to consider it, right? Like I said, I had to regroup. I woke up Thursday. He told me to go down Haynes Point, right? I'm not really sure what I was gonna do. I can't remember. Oh, I was gonna go to the grocery store. I was about to do some grocery shopping. I knew I needed to get some Advil, wanted to get some milk, some other stuff. I got in the cart. I went to the grocery store, and I heard the Most High say, go to Haynes Point. It was cloudy, rainy, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I might see a storm come in. I like that type of stuff. But I know it was clear. I just left the cart right there, took the Advil out, walked to the little self-checkout joint, got the Advil left. I wanted to go to the emergency room. I wasn't feeling 100%, even though I still ended up going that night. I wasn't feeling right. I had some issues going on, even though all praise to the Most High, everything good. But that was a part of the attack, a spiritual attack, because the enemy knew how I was about to turn another page in my life. He was about to show me something I needed to see, that the only way he could keep me from seeing it is if he kept me from going down Haynes Point. And it's funny, because my intention was to go, I was like, I'm gonna go to this emergency room, and then when I leave here, whatever time it is, I'm gonna go down Haynes Point. When I got over by the emergency room, they're doing construction over there at the hospital over there by Magic Johnson Theater. And all the parking area was fenced in with trailers and equipment. So I'm like, man, I ain't got nowhere to park over here. He said, go down Haynes Point. You know, it really ain't a lot of conversation. It's very, very direct, go to Haynes Point. So, you know, I'm getting a little overwhelmed, I'm getting worked up, you know what I'm saying? Every 15 minutes crying, you know, just thinking about stuff, just apologizing, telling the Most I don't know what to do, you know what I'm saying? I need you to show me what to do. Kind of like my man Damo, who I met not too long ago. And interestingly enough, I told y'all, side note, I gave him that $100 that would come back to me. My brother walked up to me, I want to say it was Tuesday, and put a $100 bill in my hand, said it was from my Aunt Wendy. You know what I'm saying? Said something to their fetish. She wanted to get to me before she leave or something. But out of nowhere, fresh $100 bill put in my hand. And that's where my mind went to, you know, y'all told me he was gonna get it back to me. So she listened just like I listened. Appreciate it, Aunt Wendy. But yeah, I go there, there's nowhere to park. So I'm riding. Making my way down Haynes Point. And again, I'm very lethargic. I don't have any energy, you know, real low energy. Just a dreary day, beating myself up, you know, for the past couple weeks. Even though we come in here and the Ruach do what he do, the weeks be rough, you know what I'm saying? He gets all the praise, honor, and glory for whatever y'all get out of what we do at this desk. But it'd be rough during the week. And, you know, I've said before, like I look at this as if Yahweh is talking directly to me. And a lot of places in Jeremiah, Isaiah, where Jacob is being referenced, there's an O placed before the Jacob. O Jacob, O Israel, O this, O that. So naturally, I see that as OJ, because the J is capital. That's what close family call me. OJ, Orlando J. So when I open up Baruch and I see turn the OJ and take hold of it, well, it says chapter 4, verse 1, this is the book of the commandments of Elohim and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, OJ, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of this light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. Now, taking it personal, I've been told a lot about myself over the years. Take hold of it, walk in the presence of the light, that thou mayest be illuminated. I've been afforded the opportunity and responsibility to have a lot of insight when given the opportunity to give it. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff going on in my head. In the right setting, sometimes it comes out right, sometimes it don't come out right. But I know to know where we come from, right? And to know where we're going, something has to change. You know what I'm saying? We're getting reacclimated to what the Most High would have had our people do. It's not gonna be something that happens overnight. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get to this point overnight. And Yahweh said in verse 6, he said, "You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved Elohim to wrath. You were delivered unto the enemies. We think it's not gonna get any better. Some people think it's not gonna get any better. I believe it's going to be exactly what Yahweh said it's gonna be. He's gonna bring us out great wealth. My mind is starting to be able to picture the transition where we will actually be elevated into positions of authority. Maybe not all in palaces and in kingdoms like ruling, but definitely in positions of authority where we're not at the bottom of the totem pole no more. I see that coming. How it's gonna transpire, I'm not really sure. But we were not brought here. We were not sold to the nations for our destruction, but for punishment. Transatlantic slave trade was punishment. Talked about Moses, man, all the prophets talked about it. So we lose sight of the beginning because we're a product of the end. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look and see why these things have occurred. If you believe what you say you believe, it shouldn't be confusing. Just like he said we was gonna go into it, he said he's gonna bring us out of it. You should believe, like he allowed us to come into it, he's gonna bring us out of it, just like he said. And that's what it says in verse 18 of chapter 4. It said, "For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hand of your enemies." I believe everything I read in the scripture. I mean, I'm being shown now where I can, there's certain things I know that the papacy in there, or the Catholic Church rather, in their translating of the scriptures, I know they inserted certain things to bolster Christianity as opposed to Judaism, who the scriptures belong to prior to being snatched up by the Greeks and then ransacked by the Romans and now we got this byproduct of all this different stuff. But the people who it was originally talking to was my ancestors, people that look like me, probably darker than me. I believe he's gonna do exactly what he said he's gonna do. So I go down Haynes Point. Few things happen. I'm gonna just give you the experience. You get from it what you want to get from it, or whatever Yahweh gives you from it, right? Like I said, short to the point. I go down there. He said go to the point, not just down to the park, to the point, to the tip where the dude used to be at coming about the ground. They call it the Great Awakening or something. So I park my truck and I'm walking, you know, slow rolling, you know, because I'm looking like, what are you about to show me? What's about to happen? I'm walking past these trees that are along the little sidewalk area by the railing. And I never realized, I don't know what type of trees. I thought they were oak trees. I don't know what type of trees these are, but their roots, they come up out the ground and like little flowers. They just lumped up. I left my phone in the truck on purpose, so I wasn't able to take a picture. But I'd never noticed that. I'd never seen it. Many times I've been down Haynes Point, I never noticed that the roots on some of those trees, right by the end of the point, they come, you know, some tree roots come up out the ground, but these were like little humps with like little flower and looking things on it. I didn't touch them, so I don't know if they were soft like flowers, but they looked like little flowers. Significance of that, I have no idea, but I'd never seen it. So that was something new to me. Just, you know, in the midst of all the BS that I was going through, Yahweh showed me something new, right? Okay, yeah, all right, I don't know what that means. As far as the roots being about the ground like that, okay, that's interesting. Never seen that before. Cool, I'm steady walking. You know, spoke to a couple people who I wouldn't normally have spoken to. I just walked past him looking at him, but I spoke, trying to be different, trying to think different, trying to feel different. So I get to the point, looking out in the water, and you know, you can almost see the Woodrow Wilson. It's foggy, it's a little rainy. I'm like, all right, looking for what am I gonna see? I wanted to see some type of strange beast out in the water, you know, something jump about the water. That's what I wanted to see. I knew that was a little far-fetched, not really practical, even though I have seen some strange stuff in the Potomac, but that didn't happen. So I'm walking, and I see this piece of driftwood. And he showed me, well, I'm not even gonna try to put it together like that unless he tell me, but I see this piece of driftwood. Oh, maybe this long, maybe. About that big around. Had a little bit of weight to it. And I must say, I was told, because it wasn't necessarily my thought, to not throw it in the water, but like shoot it down to the water, straight down to the water. Boom, it went into the water, all these bubbles started coming up, And you know, you'll see full trees floating down the water, right? Threw that joker down in there, bubble. And it finally came back up to the surface, started floating. That was something else I had never experienced. You know what I'm saying? Throw a piece of wood in the water and all these bubbles come up and then immediately come back to the top. But it did come back up, floated away. If you getting something, cool. I'm just telling you my experience. Walked a little further. There's another piece of wood, longer, a little heavier. I'm thinking to myself, no. Something happened in between it. As I'm walking, there was three ducks sitting on the ledge on the outside. One of them was sitting down, the other joker was standing up, and the other one was looking at me. I'm looking at him. And I could tell he was about to run, but I mean, I didn't stomp at him or nothing. So he jumped in the water. I walk on down a little further, and I lean on the rail. He come back up, jump back up on the ledge. You know, like, that's what they doing. So I'm looking, I start doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm talking about. But all three of them jokers, at the same time, took their heads, turned them, and tucked their beaks into their wing, and was like looking at me with one eye over their shoulder. One was sitting down, like I said, the other one was standing on one leg, and the other one was down there. I don't know the significance of this, but this is what happened. This is what I was told to go to the point for, you know? I never seen ducks do that. Well, I mean, you know, you see them nestle their little beaks in their wing. They was all looking at me. And I asked the little duck, that sounds crazy. I asked the little duck, I said, man, do you know Yahweh? And like I said, he was looking at me with one eye. I was like, do you know God? He closed his eye. I don't know what that means. I was like, I turned around, I walked off. A couple more ducks came, I walked off. Then I seen that long piece of driftwood. Picked that joke up, threw it straight down in the water. It bubbled, it never came back up. Couldn't understand it was heavier. Actually, it wasn't as heavy, it was just longer. Wasn't even as big around. Bubbled, the bubble stopped, but it never floated back up. The other joint floated back up. Kept on walking, two more smaller pieces of driftwood, threw them jokers in the water. They didn't even go into the water. They hit the water and stayed on top. There are more to that, I have no idea. That's what happened. But on my way back around, because I still didn't know if that was what I was sent down there for. I'm walking, I'm looking, I'm like, man, come on, y'all. I see this little, I know this little stuff, this little sticker on a tree. Somebody took the time to stop and put a little sticker on a tree. I was trying to see if I had something in my pocket I could have left there with it. Yes, made my mind work. I'm walking, I'm almost back around in my truck now. And I'm like, I don't know if them ducks or them roots or them sticks, I don't know what that mean, but I mean, I'm down here and I'm about to leave, and right as I was coming back around where my truck was at, I looked on the ground, there was a piece of paper about the size of the tag that comes on an article of clothing. It simply said a new day. It's a new day. And I kept repeating that to myself. Over and 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 over again. Matter of fact, yeah, that's what it was. That's what made me view the whole situation uptown different. I'm telling myself it's a new day, it's a new day, it's a new day. I get up there and it's the same old mess. It made me sick and I just left. Next day when I woke up, felt refreshed. I went and read first. I was like, don't touch your phone. Don't cut the TV on. Go read first. Oh, thank you, y'all. He talked to me again. That's what it was. Thank you. On the way back up, he talked to me again. I'm gonna tell you, matter of fact, he told me I can't say everything. All right. I heard his voice again, clear. Like, he told me one time before, all right. He talks to people different. I heard him, flat out. And he told me what he about to do with me. And he told me why I was allowed to go through what I've been allowed to go through. But he has a purpose for me. It's like he got a purpose for all of us. I'm not gonna. He told me he has a purpose for me. What are you gonna do? And I've been talking to people, just seemingly random conversation that's all been prepping for, like something big's about to happen. Something big is about to happen. And it just felt good. Just put a smile on my face, and then I messed up, of course, like human beings do. And it got quiet again, because I went 2 days getting up reading, and then my movements got thrown off. And but this is what I can appreciate about our Savior. And he told me, he introduced himself as Yahushua. And this is me. I ain't saying he's gonna do that with you. I heard him loud and clear. And I mean, for the longest time in my head, I was talking to Yahushua. I thought his name was Jesus. He never corrected me and said, nah, that's not my name. Never corrected me. Never. But if you don't seek, you're not gonna find. You'll find him when you seek for him and you search for him with your whole heart. When I committed and determined myself, man, I want to know the truth regardless what I find. That's when Yahweh let me know who he is. And as of the other day, he showed me a lot of stuff, took me back. I'm not gonna go into all that right now, that's between me and him. But yeah, it's real. It's real. I ain't tripping. Might be a little off, but I ain't tripping. But it's funny because he knows us intimately. He knows our likes, he knows our desires, he knows our shortcomings, our slip-ups, our hiccups. He knows us. And he accepted all that and still chose to trade his unfallen state, his perfect state, to literally become like us so that we can be truly like him. It's amazing when you think about it, and he means it. You're a big brother for real. Will come through. I'm in Home Depot, in the process of me listening, a whole lot of stuff. I've been being asked for a long time to change this light bulb, to do this, do that, and other thing. I'm like, all right. Generally, I just say no. Even though I plan on doing it, I'm just so quick to say no. I mean, I'm cleaning up, checking, doing a bunch of stuff. I'm like, man. But he worked it out timing-wise. I went to Home Depot, looking for these light bulbs. My man Obi walked behind me rather. He told me, man, look at this ugly dude right here. Turned to look at him. I just said, you better be glad I know you. He's like, what would you have done? He all big Nigerian nightmare. You know what I'm saying? It probably wouldn't have been too much I could have really did with him. But anyway, you know, I was doing security with him before the pandemic hit, which was a blessing. And, you know, Yahweh said, man, if we just be patient and obedient, he said he's going to work it out. You know, for the most part, we always get in our way. Our job did. But in this situation, let me tell you what happened, flat out, right? It's funny to me. It's funny to me, the type of stuff that I be experiencing. People like, man, my nigga tripping. We talking, I get my little light bulb and stuff, I got my little bucket, mop. So he telling me about, you know, what he doing with his house and, you know, all these improvements stuff he make. He's shelling out all this money. Telling me about a couple business opportunities that I'm gonna look into. And I told him, I said, look, man, you know, you ever need me, well, you got me. I enjoy doing security. You know what I'm saying? His gigs be just laid back. So, like, excuse me, like, all right, when we roll out, so I'm about to go check out, and I see him walking with his car, he's stepping, right? I just see him going down the aisle. Normally, when a person pays for their stuff, you know, you going through the little register and then going out the door. He going down the aisle. Like, before you get into the register, he just bend the corner by the pro dad, just walk on out. I'm like, man, this dude just steal this stuff. You just walk out without paying for this stuff? They go to the enemy. Man, shoot. He ain't pay for his. Why I gotta pay for mine? You know what I'm saying? I walk on out the door. Ain't nobody looking. Ain't nobody paying attention to nothing. I'm outside. I could be gone. I know a lot of thieves. I used to be a thief. I used to be a real good thief. Felt weird, you know what I'm saying? Because I had the money. Ain't like stuff ain't coming but $30 some. As soon as I get outside, he like, hey, oh! He called me over to his vehicle, right? But I see he putting bags in his truck. I said, this dude ain't steal this stuff. He paid for it. I'm sorry, I hope I ain't doing too much on that. But he like, man, look, man, we got a gig, blah, 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 woo, woo, 10 hours, you know what I'm saying, about $25 an hour. But a cherry blossom. I'm like, man, my cousin mother just passed. Actually, the gig was for Saturday, right? But the Most High had already talked to me. He said, man, I already explained to you about this Sabbath. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna go into that because that's a whole nother animal. It's hard enough for y'all to grasp the name thing. I ain't even gonna start touching on the seventh day of the week. But he broke it down to me. He said, man, I already told you about that. And I got you. So I'm looking for this blessing. So I'm like, man, all right, 10 hours. I ain't trying to be walking around downtown. You know what I'm saying? He said from 5 to 3 in the morning. I'm like, what in the world am I be doing till 3 in the morning? But it was an indoor thing. Found that out when I called him back. I said, man, I'm supposed to be doing something with my cousin. I'm probably gonna be able to do it. But, you know, keep me in mind for some other stuff. He's like, bet, well, you know, just let me know. I got 2 people already. They called and said they need a third. I get in my truck, look at my phone. My cousin was like, she ain't gonna be able to make a move on Saturday. So I immediately hit him, I was like, look, bro, you need me. I'm saying, I'm there. He's like, all right, bet. You know what I'm saying? I'll let him know. And I said, but what's the venue gonna be? They said, man, it's gonna be indoor. Well, once he said indoors, cool. Ain't got no problem with it from that point on, man. I'm on the clock. I'll be moving around like a party type setting. And if it's gonna be down that way for the type of people that was there, all you had to do was a few drunk people, but nobody had it on their mind to be violent. They had too much money. There was too much money in there for any violence to kick off. I mean, most violence that took place was people towards themselves by falling and hitting their head on something. That was the only violence. You know what I'm saying? There was no fighting or nothing like that. Sweet, but like I said, I got up at 3 o'clock this morning. So I'm just tired, but that was a blessing. And on my way back past the Home Depot, of course, Most High was like, you gonna pay for that, right? I'm like, I'm already outside. He was like, man, don't miss your blessing. Now this was before, matter of fact, I jumped. I walk away from him, I'm telling him, I'm not gonna do it, you know what I'm saying, because of my cousin. He said, man, you gonna pay for that, right? I'm like, man, I'm already outside. I can see my truck. He said, man, don't miss your blessing. I started walking back towards the door, and I stopped and turned around, and then turned around again, went back towards the store. If anybody was watching me, they was like, this dude right here tripping. But I walked back in there, this little black girl, a lady, standing there. I walked to the register and got the scanner stuff. She looked at me, she was like, thank you. And, you know, I go there a lot. Now, she might have been watching me the whole time. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't worth $37. And I ended up making like $250. You know what I'm saying? For them 2 hours. 10 hours, I mean. So, I mean, I don't know what the moral of that is either. That's just what happened. And real talk, one-on-one, all I'm gonna do is be transparent. I'm gonna give you what the Most High gave me. You know what I'm saying? What I know for a fact is it's a new day. We gotta change up some stuff. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to always move impulsively just because the opportunity is there. I could have walked straight to my truck with that $37 worth of stuff and missed out on $250. Does that make sense? Does it balance out? Nah, it don't balance out. You know what I'm saying? I could have done a whole lot of stuff, even at the venue. You know what I'm saying? Had some interesting encounters with some people. You know, but my presence, my demeanor alone speaks volumes. I don't even have to really use words all the time. But, yeah, that's it. The new day. That's what he showed me. What I'm telling you. You know, it's another person that I want y'all to pray for. I think this older lady might have had a stroke. She's been texting me. She's out her daughter's house in Baltimore, but she's in the hospital. Her name is Faye. So you think about it, keep Faye, she's about 70-some years old, you know, little young, old whippersnapper. But move around, keep Faye in prayer. Yahweh opened me up to Isaiah 12. Very short. This is reading out of the Tanakh. You will say on that day, I thank you, Yahweh, for you were angry with me. Now your wrath has subsided. And you have comforted me. Behold, Elohim is my salvation. I shall trust and not fear. For Elohim is my might, my praise. Yahweh, and he was a salvation for me. You can draw water with joy from the springs of salvation. You will say on that day, give thanks to Yahweh, declare his name. Make his acts known among the people. Declare that his name is exalted. Make music for Yahweh, for he has acted with grandeur. Make this known throughout the world. Exalt and sing for joy, O inhabitants of Zion, for the Holy One of Israel is great in your midst. And he pointed out a few other things in 13 that I'm gonna leave you with. Prophecy concerning Babylonia, which Isaiah, son of Amos, envisioned. Upon the high mountain, hoist a banner, raise a voice to them and wave a hand, and let them come to the doors of the nobles. I have commanded my appointed ones. I have also summoned my warriors to execute my wrath, to be exuberant over my grandeur. He says, I've commanded my appointed ones. They're people like myself who were set aside for a reason, only at the command of the Most High Yah. I could have been a number of different things. He has commanded his appointment, and he has also summoned his warriors. He got warriors. My man Damon is one of them. I thought he was, I wanted him to be here, but I told him I was only gonna be here about 45 minutes, tired. You know, I believe he was, I wanted him to be here, man, but Damon, he's a Most High summoned warrior. The brother has a fire inside of him that no human being can put out. He's got his appointed ones, he's got his warriors to execute his wrath, right? There's a whole lot of people who are of a mindset, and I ain't gonna do no Christian bashing today, but you think about the concept, or but their main thing is, love one another. Yahweh is ready to destroy. He's ready to recompense. He's ready to clean house. He's got people that he's appointed and he's summoned for this purpose to wreck alongside of him, alongside Yahweh. Those who want it. For the most part, I don't even know if it's fear, it's just an inability to really digest scripture for what it is, as opposed to what you want it to be or what your pastor has made it out to be. Look at it for what it is. I have commanded my appointed ones. I have also summoned my warriors to execute my wrath. Execute his wrath. Sounds pretty clear to me. To be exuberant over my grandeur. The sound of commotion is in the mountains, like that of an enormous people. The crescendo of the kingdoms of gathering nations. Yahweh, master of legions, is assigning officers for the legion of war. They came from a faraway land, from the end of the heavens. Yahweh and his weapons of anger to devastate the entire land. Yahweh and his weapons of anger to devastate the entire land. Wail, for the day of Yahweh is near. It will come as a sudden attack from the Almighty. It will come as a sudden attack from the Almighty. Can you imagine if Yahweh ambushed you? From the Almighty. Therefore, all hands will grow weary and every human heart will melt. It will be terrorized. Aches and pains will seize them. It will be in travail like a woman in childbirth. Each man will be astonished at his friend. Their faces are faces of flame. Behold, the day of Yahweh is coming, a day of cruelty, rage, and burning anger to make the land desolate. He will annihilate its sinners from it. That doesn't sound very loving. Doesn't sound very compassionate, gentle, meek, lowly. Keep playing that role. You're going to mess around and get crushed with the rest of them. In love. Because that's what the Most High said do. Yeah, that's it. That's all he gave me. It's a new day. A new day. A new day. Yahweh, thank you for this opportunity. Be with Faye. You've been texting me from the hospital. I'm pretty sure she probably had a stroke based on the way the sentences are being put together. That's her body. I know she's up in age. She's not in the best health, but she's trying. That's why she left. Going to be with Sharon, be with Brad, wherever he is, be with the viewers, whoever had an opportunity to do this short session. I pray that they got something. I know it probably sounds like I did a lot of rambling, but those are personal experiences that brought me to a clearer understanding of what it is this means going forward. New day. Everything don't function the same, even in the same body of water. Some things float, some things sink, some things don't even get submerged. Everything ain't rooted the same way. And nature knows who you is. Bob, you picked us for this. You picked me for this. I hope I'm not confusing or discouraging anyone. I do hope I offend anyone who is still standing on the side of opposition. That is definitely my intention. And for that, I do not apologize, y'all, but I pray that you open your people's eyes. Open your people's eyes, y'all. The people you picked. You did not allow us to come here to be destroyed. That's what you said in your scripture. So prepare us. Only one less thing to happen. Thank you for this new day, y'all. In Yahweh's name. Oh, be with this studio. Y'all continue to bless them, their efforts, and moving forward in whatever ministry they got going on. Be with the shows and other programs that come through here. Be with its hosts and its guests. Be with my family, my friends. There's a lot of good brothers out there, y'all, who just haven't had the opportunity to meet you. Because all the people that come at them in your name don't even know your name. And the ones who you have picked, they sense that. They stand off, they're leery, which is good. Keep them hesitant from embracing opposition until you have an opportunity to send You're real messengers to him. With Damo, his family, with all the individuals who I've come across randomly in my travels through jails and through parks and through wherever you've sent me over the years, touch those people. You put me there for a reason, just like with anybody else who goes through this, you know what I'm talking about. With my brothers, and situations in life, with my sisters, my father, my mother, yeah, you know what's going on in my life. You know what's going on in my people's lives. You know what's going on with all of us. And it ain't pretty, but we gotta go through it. I said it was gonna be easy. You did say we was gonna win in the end. Thank you in advance for the victory. With my children, my daughter, she's in Alabama. My son, he's in Fredericksburg. With my nieces and nephews. We can stand there for the rest of the time. We're supposed to be in the studio and call names of individuals in need of prayer. Nah, but you know what it is. You know what it is, and you know who they are. Thank you in advance for everything you're gonna do for us. In Yahweh name, Amen. This has been Real Talk 101, Devil Exposed. Have a good week. Make sure to seek truth, not the traditions of men. Shalom.
As servants of the Most High, we must eagerly plant the seed. Understand we do not possess the power to make the seed grow, only the Father. The key being missed is the art of playing your position. Trust Yah to do what he said he will do. He will get the increase. He gets the credit. The Most High showed me the end result before I knew the path. And when I asked, he just said, follow me.
You see, cause push is what the doctor told mommy when she was birthing me. We push it, make it through tribulations and life adversities. A pusher is a term for a person selling narcotics. A pushover is what church is now cause of lack of knowledge. Information must be factual, literal, therefore actual. Be leery of the ones taking lies and making them practical. We have to pull the skirt up on shepherds who out in line. If we don't, then there's a chance that we may all end up in frying. Gotta push to the limit, let's get it. If you a soldier, gotta love for the truth, and my passion just makes me bolder. Got a crew rolling with me, we sticky, yeah, how a shot of glue. We holding us together through him, there's nothing that we can't do. It's time, ask the question, who blessing me, where my help come from? Yeah, how I do it all through his word. Yeah, how a shot, son, let's get it. If you with it, go grab it so you can have it. Time for playing games, there's up tricks off for kids, you silly rabbit.
I pledge allegiance to the Most High, who is the Alpha and Omega. And through the blood of Yahweh Shai, his son that died for me, I am reconciled to my Father in heaven. Under Yah, whose mercy is everlasting. One truth, if accepted, will bring salvation to all.
We gotta push to get truth from the people pushing us lies. Speaking of lies, you know the devil, he always come in disguise. A fancy suit, a nice physique, some money and pretty eyes, but he's a fire-breathing dragon who's helping on telling lies. In Revelations, there's this beast and he giving this soul a rise. She's dressed in purple and a scarlet, yeah, that be that whole disguise. It's all it represent the church or authority, telling lies. That be she riding on his roam. You better open up your eyes to water. Bahashim Yahweh Shai, I thank you for this blessing. Time to wake up from the sleep so we can teach that whole lesson. Less and less I feel traditional, the most I rock with spiritual. His Ruach here to help download this truth just like it's digital. We miserable and shattered, been that way since we've been scattered. Now y'all waking up as people, check this out, there's none equal. Most I knew what he was doing when he sent this strong delusion. Fall in love with seeking truth and he'll confirm this next conclusion. Strong delusion.
Physically powerful, morally vigorous, deeply rooted, false idea or theory, held persistently and abnormally, accepted as truth, especially by faith or authority rather than from personal knowledge, but is in fact a falsehood.
You gotta push to manage damage implanted by the satanic papal power. Yeah, that hoe giving gifts out just like she's Santa. Satan switch the N around and see just what I'm saying. And they gifts be wrapped in lies designed to spread their propagation. No more waiting, time to get up, get out. Wake up the nation, need a phrase from Yasharal or Azo Israel. Awaken, deacon sleeping, elders snoozing. The congregation be losing. Pastor serving wine from Babylon, got everybody moving. Think I'm knowing, cause you older and been in for a minute. Lack of knowledge while we perishing, no need to be offended. See, the truth is not rhetorical, know it's timely in the season when it's spitting proper format. There's no room left for deceiving or misleading, which result when ones insert their own opinion. Just like Adam when he tripped out and gave Hashatan dominion. We've been subject to the lie, but know this truth, it will prevail. I'm a love watching the devil and his whole crew burn